Hey guys, Aaron Cybertron Zhang here, and today I'm back with another episode of Road to Ranked, and we're just jumping right into things. In yesterday's episode, we featured a really fun team with Raikou, so we'll be playing a couple more games with it today. And for the first game, we're actually up against Nidoqueen, which is kind of cool. That has definitely been picking up in usage recently, so interesting to see that. Okay, so Raikou plus Kingdra is really... Raikou, Kingdra, Kartana is the main offensive core here, and it also fares really well in this matchup, but I think I really have to be a little bit worried about the Nidoqueen. I haven't seen with Fake Out, so I could use it to Fake Out against a potential Whimsicott lead. Does my opponent even go with Whimsicott? Could go Tornado, like Incin Nidoqueen, Incin Moltres. Those are all interesting combinations. I really do want the Tailwind up in this game, ideally. If you deny my Tailwind, yeah, I think it's hard for my opponent to deny Tailwind, but also pressure a KO onto Tornadus. So I think in this game, we can actually lead Tornadus. Tornadus, Raikou, Kingdra, Kartana is what I'm opting towards here. Is Kartana actually that good here? What am I bringing it for? Tapu Fini, mainly. What would be better? It would probably be Togekiss for redirection, but don't know if that justifies bringing it. Okay, I'm still going to go with Kartana, I think, in the end here. But this is kind of scary. I mean, Nidoqueen's a very strong attacker here. And it's interesting to see how many people have been using it in the last couple of weeks on ladder. So, yeah, always a fan of it. So, let's get into today's episode. Thanks as always for watching Road to Ranked. If you enjoyed, please show your support by leaving a like. Please show your support by leaving a like. I'd really appreciate it. And question of the day, I want to know how you're feeling about VGC, right now, just in general. We're about a year into series... a year into Sword and Shield, and obviously a month and a half into Series 7, so, things are a little bit weird right now, obviously, with no big events other than, like the Players' Cup, for example. So I'm curious how everyone's feeling about VGC, if you have still been playing it, if you're enjoying watching it, if you're kind of taking a break and want to get back into it once live events are back. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Okay, it's just Whimsicott Fini. It's fine by me. Here's the interesting thing, though. Do I Dynamax the Raikou turn 1? Because I think it's so likely that Fini protects. Oh, actually, I mean, Fini switching out into Nidoqueen's likely play, right? Does Fini ever stay in here and just attack? It would be a very bold play. I kind of want to just Tailwind and Snarl turn 1. The other play is to max Geyser the Fini. Okay, this is kind of aggressive, but if it pays off, it's huge. Okay, show me Nidoqueen. Nice. So, in that position, the reason why I felt pretty confident in that is because, Raikou is such a big offensive threat to Fini, and Fini, even if it stays in, what's the worst it can do against us, right? I guess Dynamax turned out to be Life Orb, and then Max Geyser the Raikou. That'd probably be the worst case. But I feel like the odds of that are relatively slim. Now, I thought Fini protecting there was the most likely possibility, which is why this Geyser is a little bit risky. But it's even if you protect, what happens, right? Not much. I think this is just this is one of those plays where it kind of just wins the game on turn 1 if we KO Nidoqueen. And even if it didn't work out for us and Fini just protected, we don't really lose that much out of it either, right? Okay, so we get the Max Geyser off into the Nidoqueen. Yeah, it's a 1 KO. Nice. I think Raikou just sweeps now. My opponent's team has nothing for Raikou outside of the Nidoqueen, so that was, pretty low risk and very high reward play. Because I think if you look at my opponent's team composition, there's just no way Fini is Life Orb if you have a Nidoqueen, right? So then, what does that limit the items to? Choice Specs or Bulky Berry, Calm Mindset, which I think is probably a little bit more likely. Honestly, I mean, we're in such a good position now. What do we have to watch out for? We have Kingdra in the back, so we just need chip damage on the Fini. Who Dynamaxes now? Probably the Fini, right? Yeah, I'm gonna just Hurricane the Whimsicott max. Actually, do I want to taunt? Hurricane Whimsicott, max Lightning Fini. Seems fine. I don't know. My opponent's in the same spot they were in last turn, right? Yeah, they Dynamax Fini. Okay. That's fine. I guess you could Fake Tears here, but Max Lightning should do enough damage where Leaf Blade plus, Hurricane Leaf Blade from what we have in the back should KO the Fini. So, that's fine. I guess Fini could Max Guard here. That would be pretty interesting. I also wonder if the Whimsicott has Fake Tears, because if you do, you could just Fake Tears Geyser now into the Raikou. But they Max Guard, which is, I think, really good for us, because now I have a free turn of damage the subsequent turn, and you just committed 1 turn of your Dynamax, right? I say, okay. They just go for Moonblast, probably trying to get a special attack drop, which makes sense. Does it make sense for that Whimsicott to ever have Fake Tears? What's the rest of the team? Yeah, with Nidoqueen, I actually think it does make a lot of sense, right? You've got Nidoqueen, Moltres, and Feeny, 3 special attackers. So I feel like Fake Tears is actually super likely. Yeah, I'm down to just Hurricane the Whimsicott here, Max Lightning into the Feeny. I wonder if they just go for a double Max Guard. But no, they don't. Okay. So we get Hurricane off. That should do a lot. Yeah, look how much damage that does into a Dynamax Tapu Fini. I think having Pokemon that can one-shot really common Pokemon in the format is valuable. And Raikou is able to do that against a lot of the common picks right now, which is nice. Right, like regular Fini there always gets one-shot. Moonblast comes out, we do eat up a special attack drop, but it's fine. Like, we're so far ahead in this game now that I think it's okay. I guess the one thing I have to maybe think about is Celesteela being my opponent's last one, because, you know, part of the problem is that the Tornadus doesn't really do much damage with Hurricane. Should be Geyser into the Raikou here, but with Kartana in the back, the rain up, I feel pretty good. Raikou even survives that impressively enough, actually. Wow. I honestly did not think we'd survive, so I think that secures up the game, because Raikou should just beat anything in the back now, especially Incineroar. Yeah, Incineroar is by far the least biggest threat to us here. And that's one thing that I think this team does really well, and one thing that you always want to consider when you're team building, the idea of forcing your opponent to bring a Pokemon out to deal with one of your big threats, right? This team has Kartana, and Kartana is so hard to deal with if you don't have like a good Fire type, for example, or Intimidate, right? So Incineroar is the best answer to Kartana, and it's like if you don't bring Incineroar, then my opponent is really weak to Kartana. I was thinking Flamethrower Celesteela could be the answer here, but they didn't end up bringing it. So it's like what this team does is it forces you to bring like that Incineroar often, and then you with so many rain, you know, users and Pokemon that thrive off the rain, it can really just sweep through. So last turn of Tailwind. We just protect the. Actually, we should switch Raikou out. I'm gonna Hurricane. Oops. Hurricane into the Incineroar and switch out into Kingdra. Yeah. Actually, it may have been better. I think it's probably better to switch into Kartana just because Kingdra can one-shot the Incin with Rain and Scald, right? So that probably would have been a better play because I could see my opponent going for a Starfall into that slot. Ooh, they don't Fake Out. That's interesting. Okay, I like that. But I think now it's just game over, right? Yeah, it doesn't matter what you go for because even if you pick up a double KO here, I'm fine. Because I can just Leaf Blade Lightning. Or sorry, Sacred Sword the Incineroar, Lightning the Feeny. And the bulk is actually really paying off here as Feeny's been unable to really secure a knockout on anything. So my opponent did bring it back. I think good recognition to realize they have to Dynamax Feeny and just, you know, try to stall out my turns to max here. Tailwind Peter's out. That's fine. They're Dynamax Sense. And that's like the... Like, I think in this matchup, my opponent basically needed Nidoqueen out right from the start. And if they led Nidoqueen, this would have been more interesting, I think. Because then I'm really pressured with the Raikou. So this is why lead matchups can really dictate games often, right? Like, this was the lead just put us in such a big advantage because we were already exerting the pressure. So when you have the pressure typically on your side, it gives you the room to make these more aggressive plays because even if you call them incorrectly, you are ahead in board state. So your opponent basically has to make a big play to just try to recover from it, right? And even if you call it incorrect, like you have to identify when, you know, it's like low risk, high reward or high risk, high reward. Or sometimes even just like low risk, low reward or high risk, low reward. Those are like typically the 4 different ways that I kind of identify plays. And this, I think the turn 1 play here is low risk, very high reward. Because Nidoqueen going down just put us in such a winning position, right? So yeah, that's why lead matchups are really, really important. I think my opponent honestly played as well as they could have after turn 1, but there was just nothing they really could have done, right? Because Raikou kind of just sweeps through the entire team. So that's kind of the offensive pressure that Raikou can exert against the team in the format right now, and that's pretty fun. Okay, I don't know if I've gone up against this exact team, but yeah, I mean, there's so many Pokemon that I've really picked up in the meta recently, right? Grimmsnarl, Rotom, Heat, now Ego, and the Spectre all on this team. So that's cool to see. First thing to note, no water resists, right? So Kingdra, Muddy Waters in rain are really going to hurt here. Grimmsnarl is scary. That's something to potentially watch out for, but that's where maybe we can bring in Togekiss. My opponent does have one of the few Pokemon that outspeed the Raikou in the Spectre, so I have to be a little bit careful about that. Huh, how do I want to play this out? Tornadus Kingdra? I think a Grimmsnarl lead here is definitely likely, just for fake out. I honestly like leading Togekiss here, I think. What about Togekiss plus Raikou? Because this, like with this, I can just double protect and then follow me the subsequent turn, set up the rain. It's just that I think my opponent probably Dynamaxes that Spectrier, so I feel like I should try to set up Tailwind. Because I don't really have great Ghost resists. That's part of the problem. But I have Max Darkness on this thing. Okay. I am going to try not bringing Tornadus here, just because Tornadus does no damage to a lot of my opponent's Pokemon with Celesteela and now Ego and Rotom Heat. So basically, like, that's one of the problems with Tornadus, right? You're bringing it for a fast Tailwind. And obviously, like, it has a good set of moves. It's not like Tornadus is useless, but it typically really falls off damage-wise, and so you're really relying on its partner or your opponent to just pick up the KO onto it. They're going to go Grimmsnarl on Spectre, okay. That's okay with me, I think. Yeah. What do I go for here? Huh. Like, I could Helping Hand, Dynamax, Max Darkness. What does Grimmsnarl go for here? Like, Fake Tears Max Phantasm is definitely a possibility, right? I think double protecting is probably the safest play here, just to block the Fake Out and Spectre. I think Dynamax is on turn 1. Maybe they Snarl with Spectre, actually. I guess that's a possibility, too. We had a lot of possible plays here. And they don't max. Okay. Interesting. So no one maxes on turn 1. Honestly, I'll take that. Because I think when I do this next turn, and this is where Togekiss actually finally comes up huge for us, is... Yeah, okay, they try to trick. I can knock out the Grimmsnarl now. And they Snarl. I won't be able to pick up the KO onto it, will I? Okay, because what I want to do is basically just use Follow Me, right? But then Grimmsnarl gets the Focus Sash. I should try to set up the Rain Up in this game, right? With the Max Geyser. But I really don't want Raikou to be perma-slowed. That's really bad. Okay. What about just Follow Me and Snarl here? We don't need the Rain Up immediately right now, because we're not going out into Kingdra. And if Spectre is snarling, it looks more defensive than offensive. I mean, actually, it could be a mix set, right? Like, you could have Snarl, but also just, like, be, like, Life Orb Shadow Ball. But I'm going to go for Follow Me here. I don't want Raikou to lose this item, and, yeah, like, even though Togekiss will give this Focus Sash to Grimmsnarl, like, it's fine. That's why I brought Togekiss, by the way, because, like, I think this team is going to fall off if my opponent gets the full incense onto anything that I have. Yeah, and the reason I'm not Dynamaxing the Raikou here is because you just do so much less damage at -1, right? And I really don't want that right now for us. We miss. Okay, I mean, at least we hit the Spectre, but missing Grimmsnarl does kind of suck, just because would have broken a Sash. Here's the interesting thing. I mean, we could still max Raikou. Also, Raikou's taken a fair amount of damage, so I kind of want to switch it out here. I honestly might actually Dazzling Gleam and Geyser here to get the Rain Up. It's just that we're going to be at -2 special attack. I really hate that. Yeah, honestly, I might switch Raikou out into Kartana here. I also don't think Kartana's that important in this matchup, right? They have Rotom Heat, Celesteela potentially in the back, Landorus. So I think Raikou, Kingdra are both more important for us right now. Okay, Spectre protects. That's fine by me. It's more than okay with us. And just Spirit Break. Okay, that's totally okay. Yeah. Alright, so we get Kartana in for free, actually, which is really nice. Do I Dynamax Kartana, then? I can Max Airstream with this thing. I just really want the Rain Up, I think, ideally. Like, KO the Spectrier. Good damage from Gleam. What's my opponent's switch in here? I also really just want to get rid of Grimmsnarl. It's such a nuisance. Follow Me here is super duper obvious. You're also not Life Orbed, and this is Max Spadef. So I wonder if I can even survive. Like, I would think so. I could Dynamax Kartana here and just Max Airstream, but I think Max Kartana is really bad against both Rotom and Celesteela, so I don't think I Max Kartana here. I'm actually just going to Dazzling Gleam and go for a Leaf Blade on a Grimmsnarl. I just really want Grimmsnarl out of the way. Because Oh, they actually switched the Grimmsnarl up, but not Spectre. That's interesting. Into Celesteal. That's a great switch. Well played. I really thought the switch would go the other way around, honestly. I just went for Will-O-Wisp too. Yeah, I mean, my safest play there was follow me and just Leaf Blade the Spectre, so nicely done on my opponent's end. It's a really bad turn for us. Okay. So it's Will-O-Wisp, Protect, Snarl, and Shadow Ball, I'm sure, is the last one. Spectre is pretty close to getting knocked out, though, right? Which is good. And we still have Raikou in the back. And I think Raikou plus Kingdra is so good against my opponent's team here, so I honestly don't even feel that bad about our current position. I think I'm going to just double Protect here. Actually, I don't even mind Kartana going down, right? Because then it would give me a free switch into Raikou. Yeah. It's just if we knocked out Spectre, you can't Snarl Raikou anymore. But I don't think Dynamax and Kartana was correct there. I just really thought the switch would go the other way around, but I suppose Grimmsnarl couldn't even do anything in that position. I like that play from my opponent's end a lot, because the Spectre is not really doing very much at this point anyway, right? So you punish me if I don't go for Follow Me, and that's exactly what happened. Follow Me Leaf Blade was the play I wanted to go for, but I didn't feel great about that. So I think Celesteal now maxes, which makes a lot of sense. And not KOing Spectre is going to really cost us here, I think. Thing is that Raikou's still amazing against this team, right? Also, I'm curious, are you max speed Celesteal? Like, do you even outspeed Raikou at +1? I don't know. Assuming you're Airstreaming. Yeah, Spectre protects. I think... Oh, actually, they might have just Steel Spiked into Togekiss here, right? That's a possibility. Well, we protected, so doesn't matter. I'm literally doing negative damage to Celesteal if I target it with Kartana, so no point there. Yeah, they go for Steel Spike. That's fine. Does helping in Leaf Blade KO the Spectrier? I don't know. I don't think so, because this Kartana's max speed, max special defense. Oh man, what a pain. I mean, like, the thing is, I could switch into either of these, but it doesn't feel that good. Yeah, I think I'm honestly just helping hand Leaf Blade here. Maybe it picks up a cow. I mean, Spectre's sitting at under 50%. Not exactly the tankiest Pokemon. Yeah, they go for Shadow Ball, but let's see. Can we survive this? We're at max Spadef. They're at -1 special attack. Nice. Okay, Kartana hangs on, which is clutch. If we pick up a knockout here, I'll feel great, but comes just short. And they go for Airstream onto Togekiss. Okay. Yeah, not knocking out the Spectre was so bad earlier. I should have just, like, played it safe there, because, like, Grimmsnarl was not nearly as much of a threat as Spectre, so that was one suboptimal play, and I think it might punish me really hard here in the end. Which is not great. This thing has a speed boost and a special attack boost. Like, I don't... It's not so problematic now, I think, because... Oh, but you can't do much damage into Raikou, right? So that's the upside for us. So, like, I can just set up the Rain Out right here. Go for a Geyser. That sets up the Kingdra in the back. Yeah, I like that. I also don't want to activate a weakness policy since we don't know Celesteal's item yet. This game would have been a lot easier if I just KO'd Spectrier on the earlier turn. So my opponent just made a really nice play that turn. And I think, yeah, like, in retrospect, Follow Me Leaf Blade is always safe there, because, like, the worst thing Grimmsnarl's doing at that point is setting up screens. And letting Kartana get burnt is just unacceptable here, right? So, yeah, that was just a really good play. I think we probably get snarled here, but the thing is, I still feel okay about a potential Raikou plus Kingdra endgame here. Even if we're at -1 special attack, because we'll have 2 turns of Dynamax, basically. Yeah, they snarl. Oh my gosh. If they have Rockfall here, or Flare, and they go for it, we lose. That would be nuts. Yeah, I don't max Lightning here because I really don't want to activate a weakness policy. Spectre hanging on for as long as it did was really bad for us because I needed to KO it so that it didn't get snarls off, and so Raikou does fall off a little bit against Pokemon outspeed it, and like Snarl Spectre was super good against us here. Okay, they just Airstream those. We should survive this. Still gonna do a lot. Not as much as I expected, actually, to be honest. Celesteela is at +2 speed now. Got a Kingdra, though. +2 speed, +1 special attack. My opponent has Grimmsnarl in the back and one last Pokemon that we haven't seen. Rotom Heat, now Ego. Are both possibilities. Like, the initial win condition I was thinking about was just get Rain up, get Kingdra out, and just click Muddy Water, right? So we do have Kingdra out in the rain, 2 turns of Dynamax left on the Raikou as well. Both of those are good things for us, right? And a Specs Muddy Water to just throw out right now. I'm really curious how fast the Celesteela is here. Like, are you invested in speed, or are you slow enough that I still outspeed you with the Raikou? That could be a difference maker here. 4 turns of rain. I think here I am just going to max Lightning into Celesteela and Muddy Water. Grimmsnarl could fake out. They could trick. Light Screen's a possibility. Spirit Break's a possibility. Yeah. Man, it's frustrating because I'm pretty happy about how I played this, other than that one really bad turn. And, like, that one turn just lost us so much momentum. Like, I like the early game. I think I'm happy that I brought the Togekiss even. Ooh, they just faked Tears. I think we win off that if we hit the Muddy Water. Oh, wait, no. Yeah, if you're faster with Celesteela, then probably not, right? Oh, Grimmsnarl survives, too. Wow. Celesteela should outspeed us now. Yeah, that should KO us. Wow, this was such a close game. Yeah, getting the second speed boost was the big thing on Celesteela there. Should I have Max Lightning in it last turn? I was worried about what? Weakness policy? Yeah, I think that would have KO'd Raikou. The support Spectre was just so good here. Like, Snarl and Will-O-Wisp was just so much disruption. I think, like, I brought the right Pokemon here. I just didn't execute well enough. Yeah, I don't think we can even... Oh, actually, I guess if Landorus is your last one, we Geyser one-shot it. What is that? No, Ego. That's probably Sashed, right? Oh, actually, he might be Power Herb. I think that -1 accuracy. Oh, this is interesting, actually. We could still win with Scald boosted. We're at -1 special attack, though, which doesn't bode well for us, right? I mean, my opponent's play here is to just protect, right? You always protect. But I think because we have that accuracy drop also on the Grimmsnarl, I still Geyser here, because I could win off accuracy misses. Huh, okay, they actually just trick. That makes sense. I mean, you get rid of the life orb. You probably survive this now and then, right? Let's see. Okay, yeah. Nice play. Nice play. That single Snarl is a difference maker here, really, right? That was a close game. My opponent played really well. And yeah, I just didn't assess the risk versus reward enough well enough on that turn the Grimmsnarl switched out as opposed to the Spectre, because if we just KO Spectre there, I really think we win the game. Because then my opponent has no more disruption for the Raikou. If Raikou doesn't eat up a special attack drop, it just completely sweeps through. So, nicely executed on there, and I think they recognized how big of a threat Raikou was, so they did a good job like forcing it out in the early game. And yeah, they found one really good play in switching out the Grimmsnarl. And it wasn't even that crazy. Like, I think Grimmsnarl was actually more likely to switch out there, but I was thinking they'd want to conserve Spectre, because I was like, oh, there's no way you want to throw it away in this position, right? Because you can conserve Snarl later on in the game. But they made a really, really smart play there. So, well done. Alright, last game here. Potential Trick Room stuff. We have to really be careful about that. Dracovish, which is interesting. Pheromosa. Anytime you see Pheromosa with Glacier, by the way, or just Pheromosa in general, you should always expect Speed Swap. It's definitely a possibility. I think it's very likely as well. I kind of like the Tornadus Instant lead here. Just guaranteed Tailwind, and then just outsweep with what we have in the back. Don't know if this is a great Raikou game. Kingdra and Kartana feel better. Like, I feel like we probably should Dynamax Kartana in this game. Yeah, I'm okay with that. The reason I'm leading Tornadus and Incineroar, by the way, is because it covers for both the Trick Room and the Speed Swap stuff on my opponent's team. And those are the two things I really want to focus on denying. If we can knock out the opposing Incineroar, like, one thing to really mention that I think came out big in that last game was the ability to decrease your opponent's stats, right? A single Snarl was kind of the difference maker between my damage output. Similarly, a Will-O-Wisp is just so huge, right? So if you're able to decrease your opponent's stats, It gives you so much more room to work with. Pokemon like Kartana and Raikou, for example, really want to be at neutral when they're getting their damage off. If you're able to even decrease them by their attacking stats by 1 stage, it's a really, really big deal. So, that's why I was trying to pivot Raikou out and back in. It may have been smarter to just honestly Dynamax Raikou immediately, set up the rain. I don't know. And then just, like, go, like, get Kingdra in safely and just click Muddy Water. The main problem is just letting Kartana get burnt, because it turned it into just... it was just absolutely useless afterwards. Cresselia and Glastrier. Okay, I don't mind this. I don't mind this one bit. Now, the interesting thing here is what do you do with Glastrier turn 1? Do you predict the Tornadus, basically? Because I go to his Parting Shot into Glastrier, which is kind of nice, and, like, switch out Tornadus into Kartana. Because with this lead, like, fake, like, Trick Room, denying Trick Room with the taunts is so obvious. It's still kind of risky, though. We have Kingdra in the back. I mean, Hailstorm into Tornadus is super duper obvious here. Okay, I'm down to just taunt into Cresselia, Parting Shot here into Glastrier. That seems okay. Yeah, they max Glastrier too, which was also okay with me, I think. Oh no, wait. What if they're Mentorb? Playing against Cresselia in Best of 1 is super scary, because it's like, it's always going to be whatever the worst item is for you. Like, it's going to be Mentorb, or the Ghost Resist or the Dark Resist. Like, those are all likely possibilities. Okay, so they don't protect, and switch out. I didn't want to fake out there in case of Helping Hand. Okay, it's not Mentorb. Moonblast just comes out. That's interesting. Into Instant. That makes me think you're doubling up onto Instant, to be honest. But if I bring this down to -2 immediately, that's pretty good, I would say. The thing is, I don't want to switch in Kartana. Like, even taking any bit of damage with that is not ideal. Honestly, I think I go into Kingdra, because I think Kartana is the carry of this game, so I don't want it to take any chip damage switching in. I think if my opponent's Moonblast in that slot, I expect Quake into that slot, but oh no, they just Hailstorm. Okay, that's fine. Because now I just bring in the Kartana safely, which is good. Wow, that didn't one-shot. Oh wow, okay, I'll take that. I mean, I think that works out as well. Huh, no, my opponent does have Moonblast, as we saw, which is kind of scary. Lefty's Crest. Now, that's not the item I was expecting at all, but guess I'll take it. Honestly, I want to switch Tornadus out into Instant here is interesting. Yeah, you can even contemplate a double switch. It's just like Kingdra feels important, right? Because my opponent has that Incineroar in the back. I would think we survive a Moonblast, though. Going into Incineroar is always safe, that's for sure. Yeah, I'm down to switch Kingdra out onto Incineroar and just go for some chip damage with the Hurricane. Yeah. Because, like, Glastrier is already at -2 attack. It's going to be at -3 after this turn. Now, the downside is I probably won't have Rain up, and it's kind of hard to set it up when Glastrier can just keep changing the weather with Hailstorm, but it's fine. Like, late game Dynamax Kartana is such a good win condition in this format. Okay, miss Hurricane. It's fine. Kind of expected, honestly. It's going to be Moonblast into the Kingdra slot. Yep. And Hailstorm. I wonder if they double up into Kingdra here. Yeah, they do. Nice, nice, nice. This is great, right? Like, Incineroar still hasn't really taken any... I'm like, Tornadus has taken some damage, but that's fine. I don't mind that damage, all things considered. We have one more turn of Dynamax from the Glastrier's end, which is not very scary. Having Taunt on the Incineroar makes me feel a lot better in this potential late game situation as well. So, this thing's already at -3 attack, -1 special attack. Is there any merit in Tailwinding? I think so, just to ensure we outspeed whatever's in the back. Just Tailwind Parting Shot. Tailwind Parting Shot. Or just Fake out Cresselia this turn, right? No, I like Parting Shot, though. Nah. Tailwind and I'll go on and crest here. The main thing is we just have to deny a second Trick Room. And I'm tailwinding here just because I know I have Taunt on the Incineroar, so I can just taunt Cresselia in subsequent turns anyway. Plus we saw earlier, by the way, Cresselia outspeeds the Incineroar pre-tailwind, which is interesting. Okay, so we switch out again. Honestly, it may have been better just to stay in there, because Kingdra might get hit by a Moonblast here, which kind of defeats the purpose of... I'd say it'd be a -1 Moonblast. It's not that scary, I guess. Yeah, it does get hit by one. That does nothing, though. And it's finally a Quake, okay. I don't even know if this KOs. Answer is no. The interesting thing, though, is that now my opponent can switch out the Glastrier, right? But I feel like I've taken a lot of damage at this point, so the question is whether or not I have enough firepower in this late game. I actually could have Rain Dance there because they didn't Hailstorm, and that might have been really nice. I'm just worried because I know my opponent is going to have their last one is definitely going to be they're going to have Incineroar on the back, right? But Dynamax Kartana just looks so good in this position, but Kindra's taking a lot of damage. I'm taunting Cresselia here for sure. I just need the Incineroar to come out because I haven't done any damage yet. That's the problem. Yeah, I want to taunt Cresselia here, and I think I'm just going to Muddy Water. Covers for switch-ins. Accuracy isn't amazing, but it's fine. Gets chip damage on anything. Main thing is fishing for that free switch-in into the Kartana. And because we've decreased Glacier's stats so much, I think it's likely that that's going to want to switch out into Incineroar later on, right? So what I can do is just Dynamax Kartana and knuckle that slot. Okay, so we are finally getting the ball rolling now. It's maybe a little late, though, which makes me feel a little bit nervous, but we'll see. Okay. Yeah, our berry gets activated, which is nice. And basically, we're playing Incineroar plus Kartana match now. Yeah, they Trick Room. They try to Trick Room. Nice, nice. Okay, so that's good. I just want the free switching into Kartana. Do I parting shot here? I don't want to take another high horsepower, actually. I'm sure you have weakness ball. Oh, you're -4 attack. Last turn I hailed too. No, I mean it's a throw if I parting shot into Kartana and I get crit, right? Those allow me to recycle a fake out though. Yeah, I mean high horsepower in a Kartana even if it crits isn't doing that much. But I want to take a Moonblast. Like we've been playing towards Kartana this entire time. I don't want to take Recoil either though, actually. Yeah, I'm going to parting shot Muddy Water. This has been a really bizarre game because like I played so defensively in the early game just to stall out the Dynamax, deny the Trick Room, and I've only done like what 80% combined in damage to Cresselia and the Glastrier. Glastrier's going to get to like -6 attack in this game, which is funny. Yeah, I'm actually I'm pretty nervous about this right now because I don't know if Kartana can pull it off without like a partner on its side because we just really have not done enough damage across the board here, and that's the problem. Okay, Kingdra feigns, but we actually needed that. And then the main reason is because the only damage I have is from Flare Blitz right now, right? Okay, so Hail stops. Now I finally get Kartana in safely. It's been forever. But the problem is, like, if I had a fully healthy Incineroar with the Citrus Berry, I'd actually feel really good about our slot. But the problem is I don't. Problem is I don't. Time to Dynamax, Knuckle, and I'm going to fake out the Cresselia here. I think you switch out, finally, until the Incineroar in the back. Like, I've been playing towards this Kartana sweep this entire match. But it might be a little late. I gave up a lot of firepower for it. A Kartana lead, actually, like, if I just led Incineroar Kartana, that would have been nice. The tough thing about using Kartana is playing against Incineroars. It's just such a free switch-in. Yeah, but there's the switch out. Should be Incin coming in. Okay. So the thing is that, like, I can do a decent amount of damage with Max Knuckle, right? Which is good. And then I have another Max Knuckle next turn. My concern is... The question is whether or not with Expert Belt it does enough, basically. Also, my opponent, I guess, could be playing towards setting up Trick Room again. That's scary, too. So, it's a question of whether, after getting to neutral, another Max Knuckle can KO Incineroar the subsequent turn. But I think we always knew Glastrier was going to switch out into Kartana there. Okay, so we fake out. Kingdra just didn't do enough in this game, I think, was the problem. Max Knuckle. Oh, nice. That's definitely a KO, actually, then. That's huge. That's very huge. How many turns of Taunt are left, though? Is one more turn, I want to say? After this one? I need to be able to taunt Cresselia again. Oh, wait. Ooh. I miscounted that. Oh, that's a problem. Because Trick Room goes up now, doesn't it? You fake out into the Incineroar. But then, even if Trick Room goes up, how does my opponent beat Kartana anymore? I don't know if they can. I'm just Max Knuckle here. And taunt. Oh, I miscounted the taunt turns. I thought we had one more turn, which is why I thought we were super safe. Oh, that actually really may cost me. Because if I had one more turn, like, the Cresselia at best Moonblasts here, and then I knock out the Incineroar, and then I just taunt Cresselia the next turn. So things like Kartana's at +2 attack now, and Incin's at +1 as well, but Trick Room goes up. Now, I outspeed the Cresselia with the Incineroar, which is interesting. Right? But Trick Room definitely goes up. Ah. Spent all this game denying Trick Room just for it to end up going up anyway. Okay. Fun match either way, but I think I gave up a little bit too much. That's the thing with Kingdra, it's just not the bulkiest Pokemon, so you need to bring it out in the right positions. Yeah, so Spectre comes back out. Or sorry, Glastrier. Oof. What's the last one? I'm hoping it's Rillaboom. I don't have Steel Spike here, which is also a little unfortunate. Do you protect here? I would think so. If you protect, what can I do? Overgrowth for the Cresselia. I mean, Crest being out is actually not that scary for us, right? Yeah, I'm going to Overgrowth into Glastrier here and just Flare Blitz Crest. Okay, they just high horsepowered. I would think +2 max Overgrowth KOs. We win 1v1 against the Crest, so it's basically a question of what my opponent's last one is, but it's what, Dracovish, Rillaboom are both possibilities. Neither of those are actually that scary. They just Moonblast here, but Kartana having that special defense bulk is actually so huge. I don't know if +2 Overgrowth KO. It's Kartana, I mean, but it actually, this doesn't have max attack investment, so I don't know if we KO. Okay, we did, thank goodness. Okay, so Cresselia is basically irrelevant at this point, so it's a question of what my opponent's last one is. It's not Incineroar. Dracovish is a possibility, but that's not super scary. I wish I had Steel Spike in this position, but I think Airstream is pretty essential in this Kartana. Okay. So Cresselia is basically a non-factor right now, especially with Grassy Terrain up. Like, I'm healing back a little bit every turn. Detect is always pretty safe this subsequent turn. Incineroar was the one thing that I was really worried about when using this Kartana, right? So the fact that that's out of the way is huge. What is that? Dracovish. I mean, if you don't have Fire Fang, I'm going to Detect here for sure, obviously, for Grassy Terrain recovery. I don't think Fish is... Like, I think Kartana wins this, but I'm not sure. If I had a defense boost, for sure. Does Dracovish get Fire Fang? I actually don't know. I'm actually really curious. I'm just going to look that up. I mean, we're going to see what it's going to want to go for anyway here. But I actually don't think it gets Fire Fang, right? It'd be weird, a Water-type Pokemon being able to Fire Fang. Yeah, I don't think it does. I think it might be Banded Fish's Rend. If it were Scarf this entire time, that would be hilarious. If you're Bandit, I would think Moonblast plus Bandit Ren KOs. But I think we just go for the Leaf Blade here. Hope to survive the double up. And if we do, we win, because there's only 2 turns of Trick Room left, so then we just protect again the subsequent turn and then KO Cresselia. But I have to target the Dracovish here. So, let's see. And if they actually end up being Choice Scarf, then we win. Actually, okay, let's see. Alright, that doesn't do anything. There's Vicious Ren. Does that one-shot us? Nice. What a game. Wow, that was crazy. Okay. Like, this is the end game I was playing towards, right? I was like, okay, as soon as we knock out Incineroar, Kartana should sweep through everything, but this was a lot closer than Comfort. I would have appreciated. Now I can just protect this last turn. We got Kartana to, what, +4 attack in this game through Beast Boosts and Knuckle. You can see the difference Expert Belt makes, by the way. It's really critical to be able to 2-shot the Incineroar, even if you're intimidated on that first one. Okay, just double-checking everything. Yeah, we just detect here. I guess, actually, I don't know if +4 Leaf Blade KOs. Oh. Oh my gosh. They Calm Minded too. Calm Mind Moonblast Trick Room. Should I have Leaf Bladed there? Because I don't know if Moonblast would have done enough. Oh wait, there's still one more turn of Grassy Terrain. Never mind, we're good. I thought that was the last turn for some reason. Okay, yeah, that's always Protect there. I'm pretty sure a +4 Leaf Blade KOs. I was gonna say Plot Twist AF Protect this entire time. Okay. That was a game. I don't know. Like, I was happy how I played the early game, but I think Kingdra just didn't do enough in this game for me, and I was not happy about that. Rain Dance over Tailwind may have been better with the turn I had Tornadus out, because my opponent didn't end up Hailstorming that turn, right? They ended up going for Max Quake. So now I would get the Rain up permanently for the remainder of the next couple of turns. So I'm thinking that would have been the play. Yeah, I think that would have been better. But this is a game that shows you, like, we lost so much, right? In the end, we were literally playing with just Kartana and Incineroar at half health against 4 Pokemon, and Kartana was just able to put in so much work against everything. So that's just the upside of conserving Kartana. And even though Trick Room went up, this Kartana spread with that Max Bedef bulk allowed us to not take much damage from the Cresselia. I can't help but wonder if Cresselia should have been Calm Minding earlier, honestly, because then you just do subsequent more increased damage with Moonblasts in subsequent turns. So interesting to see that it had helped Calm Mind the entire time. But yeah, that was definitely a game. Game 2, I'm not happy about how I played that in that one turn, and that one turn really cost us the match, because I think the win con would have been to KO. If we KO Spectre, we win that match. If we conserve Raikou. So I didn't play towards my win conditions well enough, and my opponent made some really, really nice switches. So props to them. And Celesteela can be really powerful, especially next to a Fake Tier Scrimsnar. So that's going to be it for this one. Thank you so much, as always, for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed, and I'll catch you all next time. All right. Peace.